name's Charlie, and welcome to my channel. And welcome, Charlie. Have you got to any words?
Hello, hi everyone, I'm Charlie too.
And what should the viewers expect this week, Charlie?
Just to remind everybody, this is the third installment of Charlie and Charlie's Christmas Cracker, and hopefully it is not going to be as protracted as last week. But this week we are going to be discussing 5 festive reads and discussing some books that we would like to read in 2024. But we will get to that when we get to it. And of course, the giveaway.
Yes, the giveaway, of course. And then also we finish on our quiz question, our Charlie and Charlie quiz question, Christmas quiz question.
But to start it all off, we got to go with a joke, Charlie.
So my joke, Charlie, is what do you call a Christmas movie about oral sex? Miracle on 69th Street.
It's the film.
Oh,
It's
what can I say?
it's just the more you read, the more I realise that I'm becoming more and more like my prudish grandmother as I get older.
I feel like I just need to keep it clean next year. This is what I'm going to do.
I don't think you're able to. Because I'm
Then I
considering.
really want to hear this joke. Tell me your joke, Charlie.
Why was the turkey in the pop group?
Why was the turkey in the pop group?
Because he was the only one with drumsticks.
Oh, oh, that's quite cute. And
I know.
yeah, that's good. I'm going to go cute next year. I'm going to out cute you.
Well, that's probably a good idea, since sometimes it seems that the filth goes right over my head.
So now on to the next section. We have got 7, count them, Christmas book recommendations. There's 3 each and 1 universal Charlie one, which we'll get to last. Because that's the best one, I believe.
I agree.
Yeah.
The first one on my list is A Snow Garden and Other Stories by Rachel Joyce. As we know, I'm a big fan of her work, and this was a very nice Christmas collection that she released a few years ago that I recommend for the season.
For going short stories, I will reflect your short stories. I will see your short stories. And I have got The Very Merry Murder Club, which is a collection of short stories that has been edited by Serena Patel and Robin Stevens. We've got numerous brilliant writers in here. We've got Benjamin Dean, we've got my favourite middle grade writer, which is Elle McNichol, and then just various other ones. And obviously they've got a little theme of the Very Merry Murder Club. So, as you can see. So it's kind of like, and this is all middle grade, so it's just a brilliant little
Yeah, I didn't realise that one was a collection of short stories. I imagine you told me at some point and I've just forgotten, but in my mind
you can get it on Scribd if you have. I know you don't have Scribd, Charlie, but if you've got Scribd, it's on. I think the audio book is on Scribd. Yeah, and it's just there's 13. It says 13 winter mysteries. That's what it says on the tin.
Well,
right, on to the next one, Charlie.
I am continuing with short stories. The only reason there's so many short stories for my Christmas reading is because usually it ends up being the busiest time of the month. So I just head towards the shortest fiction I have on my shelves.
Good for your attention span, isn't it?
Yeah, so I went with Christmas Days by Jeanette Winterson, which is the collection that she includes a tale from her own life and a recipe and intersperses them with the short stories. I read it for the first time a few years ago, read it again last year, and I think that what she captures well in this is all the different traditions and all the different things that Christmas has been in the past, and the different stories and tales that get told at this time of year. I really think that it's a good collection.
So the next one on my list is a YA kind of. I think it's classed as YA. I'm going to say it's YA. It is a Juno Dawson's Stay Another Day, like the E17 Stay Now. And this is again kind of like it's not really Christmassy, but it's set in that sort of time. We're following the McAllister family, and it's
in Home Alone.
No, it says the McAllister house. Yeah, they're the McAllister family. I'm sure.
Yeah, in Home Alone, they're the McAllisters.
McAllister house on Arboretum Road. Yeah. So So we follow the McAllister family. Yeah, I guess it's like a tribute to like a Home Alone kind of tribute, maybe. There's various different characters in here. We've got a non-binary character in here as well. And it's just like a family drama kind of thing set at Christmas. And I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't read it for a little while. It's been a few years since I read it, but I enjoyed it when I read it. And so I would recommend it.
Naturally, I'm just going to go down the next, what seems to be tradition amongst a lot of booktubers, and that is The Christmas Chronicles by Nigel Slater.
Yeah, that's a Christmas classic.
Because
That
I
everyone.
have been reading that every year since I first got it.
It's one of your traditions. Yeah.
Well, it has been for 3 years now. Like I say, I just enjoy disagreeing with Nigel Slater about Christmas, and I like that even if I've not read any, I'm not reading anything that day, or I've not found the time, the sections in here are usually only about 2 or 3 pages, so you can always dedicate a few minutes.
You can dip in and out of it, because you said that to me, because I found a copy of it for £1, and it was brand new condition. I haven't even hauled it on my channel. But yeah, I'm excited to dip in and out of it. I have read it, I think I've read 1 or 2 days, but you said that doesn't matter. I can just dip as much as I like and then go back to it year after year. So my last recommendation, apart from our joint Charlie recommendation, is a classic, The Nutcracker by E.T.A. Hoffman. I think it says Etta, but I think it's E.T.A. Hoffman. And this is just obviously a classic. And specifically, I want to recommend this edition. And then, and I think they're penguin editions, but there are multiple versions of different. There are multiple different versions of these covers, and they're all gorgeous. And I really want to collect all of them, even the books that I've already read. I think actually the next book we're going to talk about, they've got an edition of this. So yeah, I just loved it, and the story is very, very quaint, and it's one that lots of people, if you don't know the Nutcracker, I feel like it's one that you will get a lot out of it. It's just a really sweet, nice, not sweet, but must read at Christmas. Give you the feels.
So, I didn't realize it was a book, so that's something.
Sorry?
I didn't realize that was a book.
So Charlie, do you want to say about our last book that we both jointly equally love?
Well, we love this book, not just being a book. Like, when it comes to our favourite Christmas films, this book is there quite a few times. It's number 1 in its various adaptations, and this is another tradition of mine, where I have read it every year since I was about 14. And apart from the 1 year that I listened to the adaptation with Hugh Grant, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Once again, many different editions. At one point in my life, I did own about 5 editions of this book. I whittled it down just to the Robert Ingpen edition, but there are so many different editions and when I say editions, I'm talking about the illustrated ones, and I could have an entire stack of those, because it's always great to see other people's interpretations of this. Quite honestly, it's a Christmas masterpiece.
It is, and it's one that I feel like I can never really get bored of it, though, in whatever form I consume it in. So yeah. So right, now we're going to go on to our Charlie 2024.
Yeah.
And this is something I think we've been mentioning of it. We've been talking to each other about it for a little while. It was Charlie's idea, your idea, Charlie. So I can't say Charlie's idea because they will be like, which Charlie? It's so yes. And so what we're going to do is, people, throughout 2024, we've picked. So me and Charlie have got 10 books each. We've picked off our shelves, and we're going to go through that stack and then eat. Well, we'll go through, I guess, book by book by book, each back and forth. Again, no, we're not going to say the premises, because we're not going to look in. I don't really want to go into it too much anyway, because I want to discover each of the books, as I'm sure you do, Charlie, as we go. And then at the end of showing you guys our 10 each, the other Charlie will pick out of that stack one for January. So each month.
That's it. Yeah.
Each month we will pick.
So we're aware that there are only 10 books here, but that is because we are also aware of certain things where we like to keep months free. So that's why there are only 10 as opposed to 12 books.
Take the pressure off. Actually, before we do actually go into the books, should we do our emoji for our giveaway? Should we do our giveaway?
I mean, we could do. Now's as good a time as any.
So yes, before we start our Charlie 24 challenge, so let's do the emoji. I think a strong arm. I want to see, the strong arm emoji.
Okay, I didn't know there was one. But,
Charlie challenge a strong arm. I'll put the picture of a strong arm emoji in case.
Yes, there we go. If well, once again, if you wish to enter our giveaway to win a copy of Shepherd's Delight, then please make your intentions known in the comments below. And for an extra entry, which means, as you know, you can get 2 a week, and this is the last week to do so because we will be announcing the winner next week in our live show next Friday, the 22nd of December at 7:30 in the evening. And for your final entry into that, which means you can have 6, you can go back onto the previous videos and enter whatever emoji you had to enter there.
And your intention.
Exactly. But for this week in particular, we want you to include a strong arm emoji in your comment or in a separate comment. However you do it, just tell us that you want to win a copy and send that strong arm emoji.
And there will be links in the description where to buy Charlie's poetry collection, obviously. So if you want to, if you can't be bothered with the giveaway, whatever, you want to just go straight ahead and buy it, it's in the description.
At the moment, we are seeing quite a few people buying this book for their poetry friends or their poet
It's
friends.
a perfect gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, that's a really kind thing for you to say because I am exceptionally concerned that by 2024, I'm going to have a whole host of disappointed poets at my door saying, "What the heck is this?"
Not true. It's really, it's got Charlie's warmth, it's got Charlie's humour, and it's obviously a sort of.
It's bad for people who don't know you.
So, onto the books. So the first book, you can start, Charlie.
Okay, so the first book on my list is not actually my own book. In 2020, my friend Joy Winkler lent me the collected short stories of Elizabeth Taylor and said it was fine. She never wanted it back. It had been a gift. Well, obviously she wants it back. There was just no limits on when she wanted it.
Wasn't in a rush, yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't in a rush to have it back, which is a good thing because for 4 years it's just sat on a desk in my bedroom and I haven't touched it. So I really think that in 2024 I ought to get through this short story collection. But whenever it gets chosen, it's definitely not going to be something that I read straight through in one go because it is a short story collection. It definitely would not be finished in 1 month.
Okay.
A huge mammoth tome. It's a leviathan.
Really? Is it big?
Yeah, it's huge. I didn't realize that Elizabeth Taylor had wrote so many short stories. It's one of the reasons that it's taken me so long. I just avoid looking at it.
Okay.
Yes. Charlie knows the plan I've got for next year anyway, so
yes.
That's why it's on here. What's
Charlie
your
will
first?
announce that soon. So the first book I have picked is one you gave me for my birthday. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yes.
We've got Nevada by Imogen Binney. So yeah, Charlie got this as one of my birthday presents. Charlie luckily was kindly treated me to 3 books, and so this is one of them. And so it's one I have heard about anyway, and it's I think it's like a kind of like a cult classic in the trans community, I believe, or it's like a cult classic.
Yeah, I think that was the case. The reason Charlie got 3 books for her birthday is simply because I was going through the list of all these books and I was like, oh, she'd like this one. Oh, she'd like this one.
That's what I do for you.
When I read the blurb for that, I thought, yeah, no, Charlie, I hope and I think you will appreciate it. I think hopeful, yeah, fingers crossed and everything. But yeah.
That's the first one for my one. You go.
And so my second book is 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami.
This is another chunky one.
It is another chunky one. I don't know who the translator is of this book because I didn't check because I'm a terrible person. But basically, been listening to a lot of the Books Unbound podcast this year, and there was a time when this book came up, and I don't know. There was a part of this year where I just kept buying all of the really weird books. It was all The Fault of Thrust by Lydia Yuknovich. And I just specifically, honed in on this edition. This is the one that I wanted, and yeah. Now I'm just certain that I just have to read this book. Anyway,
Right.
what's your second one?
The next one, all of my books I picked, as you will see, apart from one, are all your kind of influence. So
Right.
the
Okay.
next one, or has Charlie links. So the next one, I really want to read this year. I know you said about buddy reading it, so if you get yourself a copy of it, I'll buddy read it with you.
Yeah. No, that's still an intention.
So Juja by Nino Haratashvili, because I just love Nino Haratashvili's writing. Nothing like I read the I can't speak. I read the My Soul Twin this year was kind of buddy reading with Charlie,
And
and
apart, but we will
but
talk
that
about.
fell apart. But both our buddy reads that we tried to do, and that was two thrust fell apart, and also from my end, and then this is what happened with it. Yeah, but I really enjoyed my Soul Twin, and so I'm still excited for Juja. I think this is different from Life and My Soul Twin, I believe. But yeah, I'm very excited to read it, and I did have a copy of it on NetGalley, and it just expired, which made me cross.
No, I enjoyed everything that I read from My Soul Twin. I think there was just other things that got in the way at the time, which meant that Charlie managed to finish the book, and my plan to finish the book the next day fell by the wayside. And
You
I
get
can't
distracted, don't you?
sometimes, yeah. The next book on my list is Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe.
How long is this?
Sorry?
Another big one.
This isn't the biggest. I think it's either just over or just under 400 pages. This book in particular was recommended to me by Sarah of Hardcover Hearts when I met her and Leo in Manchester in May 2022. And I went straight home and I acquired it because I didn't buy anything on the day because of carrying them home. And so yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while on my shelves unread, and it's been on a few what's it called, TBR since then. So that's why it's definitely going to happen next year. What's your third?
My one is Erasure by Percival Everett. The link that I've got with Charlie here is that we both read and loved. Well, I think I loved it slightly more. The Trees by Percival Everett. And that year, so I got this last year on holiday last year. I picked it up. I really want to read it, and I haven't got to it. So yeah, that's why I've got it on the list.
The next book for me is, before we started this video, Charlie mentioned a read or unhaul project. And this next book for me is one where I considered unhauling the entire series because part of me in my mind is thinking I'm going to read it and end up unhauling the entire series. And it's The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin.
Ooh.
When I read the fifth season,
the second one, isn't it?
This is the third one. It's the final book. When I read the first book way back when, I said about how I really looked forward to rereading it in future. And then I just left it for years, got to the second one, and did feel a little bit underwhelmed. So now we're at the third one, and I'm just thinking I've either left the series too long or it's just just one of those things, really.
So we will see if this is hopefully, do you know what, all of these books, there's no pressure on any of them. We can unhaul whatever we don't want.
But we are hoping that they'll all be 5 stars.
I mean, I don't have any. There's only one. Mate, no, do you know what? I feel like because I haven't found a 5-star read for ages, it feels like. So therefore, yeah, so therefore I feel like I don't have any 5-star reads on my shelves. I don't own any 5-star books. That's no offense to you, your choices of whatever you that's literally zero. Maybe Juja. I don't know. But like it's just because I feel like I can't my anticipation is low for
This isn't a bad thing.
it's because this is what happens when you feel like you're a little bit slumpy. Anyway, but the next book I picked is one that isn't a Charlie book. This is the only one out of the stack that doesn't have any links to you. It is Oh Caledonia by Elspeth Barker. This is one that my mum got for me when we were in the Bell Bookshop in Henley, and it's kind of dark and meant to be kind of twisty. The cover kind of gives me Jessie Burton vibes. And
I remember you saying that ages ago when you sent me a picture.
Because it kind of gives me like the doll, like it's kind of like you see the miniature.
I get it, like the doll's house and things inside. Yeah, I remember
that. So I have heard good things about this. I'm excited to read it.
The next book on my list is one that I tried to read this year, but once again, I think it was either around the time that I started reading the books for the Booker, or again, it was just another busy time and I lost time to read it. And it was Streets of Laredo by Larry McMurtry. Really loved Lonesome Dove, and I
Oh,
read
you
that
love that one.
years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago since I read that. And I haven't read anything since. And I bought these books again about 3 years ago. Um,
It's
and
chunky as well.
they are, but also part of me think like whenever I think of these books, for me, there's just part of me they have to be read in spring or summer. Just because just the whole thing about them, I can't. There's just part of me that can't read them any other time of year. And so by the time we'd got past when I was reading them,
That was
the
it.
the seasonal want to read them had disappeared. Anyway, what's your next book?
It's interesting that you say about spring and summer, because the next book, I really have it in my head that it's a summer book, because I feel like, 'cause as you will see, this is probably the most childish book out of this whole stack. The Trouble with Goats and Sheep by Joanne.
Okay,
Because
okay.
this is Charlie's one of your favorite books, probably of all time.
It's absolutely hilarious that you mentioned that book here because I read that book in the same year that I read Lonesome Dove, and I did a video where I had all of my top 10 books of 4 years competing against each other. And Lonesome Dove and The Trouble with Goats and Sheep were the top two favourite books of my time on BookTube.
I know this is like one of your favorites. I knew that. Yeah, because I'm sure you were with me when I bought this. Were you?
Probably. I don't know. I really like the book.
Yeah, I know. So I want to. I think I want to read this in the warmer months.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
That makes
depending on
complete
what
sense
the
to
other
me.
Charlie picks, but we'll see.
Yeah. Uh,
You go.
no. So for me, it's the next one is a book that I saw for the first time ever nearly 2 decades ago on Newsnight Review. It was the first ever episode I watched of that, and it's Black Swan Green by David Mitchell.
Oh,
I believe that this is his only work that doesn't really feature anything a bit weird or surreal. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I feel like it's more of a linear story and that sort of thing. Otherwise, I've no idea about this book other than once again a few years ago was really enjoying David Mitchell's work, and then just haven't read any for a while, so would like to get back into reading the final few books of his that I haven't read yet.
so my next book is the biggest book on this pile, and it's The Gift of Rain by Tan Fang Eng. The reason this is kind of childish because we both were talking when we both kind of read his latest one, The House of Doors.
A House of Doors, that was it, yes.
The book, it was a book this year's Booker one, and me and Charlie have links to the Booker. Thus, this is like my link of a Charlie book. Not really a Charlie book, but anyway, it's chunky. I really want to read more by Tan Fan Eng, and I feel like this could be a 5-star read. Like we shall see.
Yep. My next book is Every Drop is a Man's Nightmare by Megan Kamale Kakimoto. And this is a book that I found when I was away in Whitby, and I believe might be one of the first short story collections to come out of Hawaii. Either way, it sounded decidedly interesting, weird, and absurd, and I was in that mood when I purchased it.
That sounds good. My next one is another one I got when I was with you, and it is Paris Daddy by Patricia Lockwood. This has been sitting on my shelves since I purchased it with you about a year ago.
Oh, a year ago, yeah.
And yeah, it's non-fiction, obviously, and I think it's like one of her most famous things, apart from nobody's talking about this. But yeah, I want to get to it.
My next book is The Mermaid and the Witch by Megan Takuda Hall. This is a book that I got for my birthday. Can't remember who got it for me. Think it was my mother or my sister. Either way, yeah, think it's queer pirates. So,
which you can't really go wrong with queer pirates.
Not really.
So after following queer pirates, this has got nothing to do with queer pirates.
It's nothing to do with queer pirates, but okay.
Anything's Possible by Elizabeth Strout, but it's because you said short stories. So I think this is kind of Elizabeth Strout's short story collection set in the Amgash world. Yeah, I want to read this year. And Emily gifted me this lovely copy for my birthday last year, I think.
So a few years ago, I purchased this book, and Charlie had read it and told me how much she enjoyed it. And for a few years now, whenever it's come up, has told me how good it is, and I still haven't got around to reading that. And it is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson.
Oh, it is. I know that's really good. It's really good. It's non-fiction, so yeah, it's really good. I still like you will enjoy this one. This is good. That's it.
Yeah, that's the only Charlie book that I put on it.
The next one is Brixton Beach by Roma Tyrn. And Charlie knew that, so I read both me and Charlie read and loved Seven Means of Mali Amida. Shihan Karunatilaka is a Sri Lankan author, and so Charlie recommended me this book. So that is why.
Yeah, that's the one I talk about. I purchased, I think it was 2007. And I haven't read any more Roma Tyrn since, but I read that book, and every time I go to my shelves, and it's another one of those, sometimes I'll think about unhauling it, and then I'll read a passage, and I think, no, we're going to reread that one day. So my 10th and final on my Charlie challenge Charlie for next year is kind of thanks to you that I have this book, because for my birthday you were very kind to post my list out to people, and so the book that is on here is Ducks by Kate de Beaton, because at the start of the year I would not stop harping on about this book to Charlie. And
it's on script, so I can, if you like it, I can get to it.
I got it 6 months ago and still haven't opened it, despite the fact that I spent about 6 months talking about how much I wanted to read it. There we go. It's a
my last book is one of the other ones that Charlie got for my birthday. Okay. So this is The Passing Playbook by Isaac Fitzsimmons, and this is just basically a queer YA romance. And yeah, I feel like this is, and I'm gonna have spoilers for next year. I've also got a project that I'm planning on doing next year, so this will fit in nicely with that secret project.
Ooh, okay.
I'll tell you about it after.
Okay, Charlie just over here, trailing her next year, exciting everybody with what she's going to be doing.
Projects. Subscribe to both of us.
Yeah, we've got tons of ideas for next year.
So now, everyone, make a guess out of the 10. Make your guess which one Charlie's going to pick. Dun, 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 dun. Drum roll, please.
I chose O Caledonia by Elspeth Barker.
Ooh, see, I think that's kind of an autumny book, but I can read that now. That'd be quite cool.
You see, I didn't think autumn when I was reading it. When I read the blurb just now, I was reminded of some of the Kate Atkinson stories that I've liked. And when I read the blurb, I thought sometimes January can be a bit of a miserable month, which is why I avoided some of the books which seemed a bit more miserable. And it's themed from the back of it that you could still have this book there if it's a day where it's incredibly miserly and rainy, which you often get in January. It can be a bit depressing in January for some people.
Is this meant to be kind of a lighter-hearted though? Because I thought
I don't think it's meant to be lighter-hearted. It just, in my head, when I read it, I was like, that is a great book to hunker down with.
There you go then. I would not.
I hope so. Anyway, if it's not, I'm very sorry. And if you end up decidedly disappointed, then I do have Samaritans on speed dial.
That's okay. Thank you.
Can have it out.
You are my permanent Samaritans, to be fair. Charlie is my counsellor. Anyway, right. The book I have picked for you, my thinking is, right, so I don't know whether you guys watching will know this. Charlie, at the beginning of the year, likes to kind of speed through as many books as possible to get his numbers up. This is true.
I'm glad that you remembered this. I'm glad you remembered this.
It's true.
It's true. I just didn't know that you remembered.
We talk all the time, and we've been friends multiple New Years.
This is true.
So of course I remember this. So the one I picked, I don't know the length of it because I didn't Google it. But I think this is a graphic novel. I don't know. The Mermaid and the Witch. This is the Queer Pirates, isn't it?
That is Queer Pirates.
Queer Pirates. Graphic novel?
Not a graphic novel, no.
It's not, okay.
But it is the shortest one on the list.
There you go then.
No, I'm pleased with that. I'm happy with that.
I think it's like a good like queer pirates is a good thing to like get you started for the year. Really?
I'm sorry.
No,
I don't know why that sounded weird to me, but
because
no,
it's fun. You need like a fun kind of like energetic. You
yeah,
need that like that power.
yeah, we've got the adventure in there. Looking forward to it. Thank you for this. I love that we both. I feel like we both picked books that the other didn't expect there.
So my quiz question, my Christmassy quiz question that I have got, everyone can guess in the comments below and try and get the answer. You're good with
It
the
just terrifies me when you do this.
well, you're good with the music. You've not got a right answer wrong yet. So there's a lot to
Okay, fine.
that's not the reason I picked this, to be clear. Um it's because that was on my phone from the previous week. Anyway,
Okay.
so the question I've got for you, Charlie, is in what decade was the song Santa Claus is Coming to Town first released? Now you've got 4 choices.
Okay. I forgot that bit. I was terrified there.
Yeah. You've got 1970s, 1910s, 1950s, or 1930s. 4 options. People in the comments below, have a little think, Charlie. We've got 1970s, 1910s, 1950s, and 1930s. Write down your answers in the comments below. What do you think the answer to that is? Don't Google, don't cheat. Have you got any ideas?
No, of course I haven't. I was hoping that you would stick with 70s and that everything after that would be later. Well, obviously because there's a Jackson 5 version.
I don't know.
Yeah, so you've got the Jackson 5 version.
Listen, you know so much about music. I literally don't know.
Well, there's an Ivy Levan version, obviously, because that's on the EP that from last year. But obviously, that's like 2015.
You're not going to get it wrong. I know you won't.
Oh, I am going to get it wrong.
No, you're not. I believe
No,
you.
I am.
I believe in you, Charlie.
I don't.
I do.
I hate being wrong. That's why it takes me so long to answer these questions.
No, I'm the same. Well, actually, I don't. Well, actually, I don't care about this. I do care.
I care too much.
I'm going to do the go. Let's go. Tick, 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 tick. Insert tick, tick sounds.
Don't you dare do that to me.
Just guess. It's 1 in 4 chance.
I know, and I don't like that. I don't like the mods. I'd like a please. Can I phone a friend?
No, you can't phone a friend.
Okay, fine. I am going to say the 30s.
Charlie's got his first answers wrong.
If it was the 70s, I'll cry. But otherwise,
it's the 50s.
Oh, that's fine then. That's fine. Yeah, that's upsetting to me. There will not be a 4th Charlie and Charlie Christmas cracker. I'm cancelling it now.
That's it. Go on.
Never happening again. The movie Miracle on 34th Street is based on a real life department store. What is it? Is it Bloomingdale's, Saks Fifth Avenue, Macy's, or the Strand?
Saks Fifth Avenue. I'm saying that quite confidently. I don't know whether it is. It feels like it sounds like it is. Is it wrong?
It is.
It's wrong.
It's wrong. I
felt confident.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's horrible of me, but it's just how confident you were.
I did. I was really confident. I thought that sounds right. It's not right.
Well, it was just especially considering I wrote all of these down, and 2 of them aren't department stores. In fact, 3 of them might not be department stores.
It must be. Surely it must be. I don't know.
Either way, the answer is Macy's.
Oh, Macy's. Okay.
Yeah. Now, when we eventually get to New York to recreate our own version of Home Alone.
Just being in the hotel and just like living the best life. Donald Trump aside, we don't want Donald Trump near us.
No, I was just thinking, like, who would be our Marv and Harry? Yeah.
Alex and Jem.
I'm glad you chose them because I was like, we can't set up loads of traps for Emily. That's
I'll put a little image of their faces. They won't even watch this, so it's fine.
Yeah, Emily's the one who she's the mother who comes in and slaps the manager of the hotel.
We'll be the naughty twins in the hotel.
Oh gosh, darn it. I feel like we could definitely eat that amount of ice cream.
Oh, I'll be sick. I can't eat ice cream. You know this about me.
My goodness, we can. What? Okay, you can have a vegan ice cream. They do vegan ice cream nowadays, Charlie. You definitely could eat that.
But I
Yeah.
don't really like ice cream.
Oh my goodness. Fine, just completely shit on my analogy. It's fine.
I'll just eat popcorn. I'll be sick on popcorn.
We don't want any vomit, please.
If I'm there, it'll
Very
come out
cute.
one way or the other. Anyway.
How did it end like this?
It's always destined to.
Oh gosh.
Everybody, let us know whether you got any of our questions right.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we're both failures today.
I'm always a failure, so it's fine by me. I'll take that. But poor Charlie, I dragged you down with me this week.
Well, actually, so I've got 2. You've got 1.
I've only got one right out of the. So
next, if we're doing quiz questions again.
No, because we're doing a whole big quiz next week with everybody. Because we're doing a whole interactive.
Oh, another quiz! Oh, fantastic!
But we're going to do a whole big Christmas quiz because I like to do all game. We're going to do next week's live show will be full with fun and games, and we're going to do a Charlie it's like a Mr. and Mrs. Charlie version with questions, aren't we?
Yeah, and no, all I'll say is if there are any proper Christmas quiz questions next week, can we make sure that they're all related to the quiz that I'm going to on Monday as well?
I mean, I'll try.
I know. I mean, it's just if I could get all of the answers right,
that would be helpful. Let us know, and don't forget to post your emoji in the comments. The strong arm emoji. Put your strong arm emoji in the comments if you're wanting to be entered to the giveaway, and say that you want to be entered to the giveaway to win Charlie's poetry collection or
wherever good books are sold.
I hope you've had a good week. Have a good week, and we will see you for the live show next Friday at 7:30 p.m. on Charlie's channel.
Yeah, over on my channel, what you're going to get to see is 2 incredibly knackered Charlies because we are incredibly busy in the run-up to Christmas. So you'll get to see us tired. One of us might decide that he's going to microwave himself a cup of Glühwein. Who knows? Just going to say it there. The PSA for this week, Charlie's recommendation to lead a full and healthy, happy life is when you are feeling the effects of a cold or flu, don't go to alcohol.
Stay away from alcohol.
Go to the Lemsip.
Yeah, there you go. Just Lemsip. So, wave goodbye, Charlie.
Ta-da! See you next week.